How's it going out there, folks? Welcome back here to a Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, about 10 p.m. here. Local time in California. Latest activity on the globe shows a 3.5 earthquake that is hiding out here across the South America area, it looks like. Not really hiding, but up there along the Peru-Chile Trench. One of the latest quakes. A little bit of activity stirring up here along that subduction zone since this morning's update. Still seeing some activity up around the Alaska area along the Aleutian Trench. Also some newer activity scattered around Japan and the Mariana Trench and over around the Philippines here. Let's go ahead and check out California, see what we got going on. Actually, we'll start up here in the Pacific Northwest. Got a handful of earthquakes up here around Mount St. Helens, including a 2.0. All right, so that was this morning. Little interesting activity there. Let's go check out the Mount St. Helens seismograph station here, since we do have some activity. Looks like there's been a handful of earthquakes up there. The seismograph station we'll check out. This one here should work. We'll go ahead and see if it's operable or not. Let's see what we got. I got to go back one day, it looks like, because this doesn't cover the 9 o'clock morning time period. So let's take a look here. See what we have. Ooh, those are all squashed, but we can increase those. That's a good thing, I think. Maybe a little bit. I am betting that they're really thin like that because of that 2-pointer showing up down here. Let's see, there it is. Yep. A lot of times when you get these larger, well, it's not large magnitude, but larger than the microquake activity out here will make those lines kind of squash down. But there's the 2-pointer quite nicely there, showed up, pretty strong. I don't see anything of any other activity there. Check up there at the goodness. I'm working on just a little bit of sleep here. It stayed up a little bit too late last night. Waiting on that blood moon. Come to find out, I didn't even have the right part for it, but that's okay. As far as streaming goes, didn't get a chance to get it done, but that's all right. It does look like there is some earthquake activity here this afternoon. I want to see if this 2-pointer showed up on this seismograph station as well. If it's going to work, there it is. About 9 o'clock this morning, there it is. So there's not a whole lot of activity showing up. I guess we can amplify these slightly, see if there's anything else in the shadows of these readings. Maybe a couple small earthquakes there, but nothing big. We'll watch that, though. Mount St. Helens getting some earthquake activity. It's not out of the norm there. They can get some earthquake swarms, but I don't think there's anything of any major noteworthy value there. In fact, if we go over to the GPS stations here, we can go up there real quick and see what we have across Mount St. Helens. See if we got any inflation going on up there around the dome area. This one is current and up to date. The gradual trend here is, as you can see, down, meaning deflation. This is vertical displacement. If this thing was, recharging, we would see this go up, but it's not. And this is some current data there as well. But, things can obviously change. Right now, though, not a whole lot going on, aside from a couple smaller earthquakes up there. 1.1 underneath Portland. The tremor map. Let's go back here and see what we had for the Cascadia slow slip event map this evening. That shows us, looks like just 12 epicenters here. The southern end of the Cascadia subduction zone. Not a whole lot of earthquake activity as far as any larger events go. We did have a couple 2s there in the last 24 hours. The last one at 2.1 this afternoon, early evening. 15 miles deep there into the subduction zone of the Cascadia. Right up, I'd say it's around the locked area within it. But nothing big. Nothing big happening for now. Southern California, let's see, anything above 2.5, negative. Everything pretty quiet down there, aside from a couple smaller microquakes out there. Just that's what happens out there in California along a major plate boundary that always getting earthquake activity every single day, but for now, just microquake activity. There's that new swarm that was stirring up outside of Beatty, Nevada. That has since died down as this afternoon. That follows a swarm of activity up here around Warm Springs, where looks like things are dying off out there as well. Just a little interesting activity recently in Nevada. Nothing big, but several swarms up here in the last couple months. Had that big swarm up around Valmy, Nevada recently, in the last 3 months or so, and then more recent swarms around Warm Springs, and this newest one outside of Las Vegas there. Yellowstone National Park, nothing showing up there, but we'll take a little quick glance at it, see what's going on. I know they had some geyser activity stirred up here a few times since, it last had geyser activity in 2020. I can't remember the name of that. What's that? Etchiness? Is that right? Guessing that's right. So that started erupting. It's acidic geyser. It's been quiet for 6 years now, but it's starting to stir back up. Doesn't really necessarily mean anything of any, major changes going on there. The inflation, if you go to their update here, the inflation that was happening there across the north rim of Yellowstone looks like it's died off. Where's their GPS stations here? There we go. So there was uplift there along the north rim of Yellowstone caldera back in July of 2025, but it ceased there mid-January. So, things can change obviously, but right now, we were looking at major inflation and we started to see crazy geyser activity all over the place, and that would be one thing, but we're just not seeing that. Just something that's been quiet there for about 6 years and is just starting to stir back up a little bit. But as far as earthquake activity goes, not a whole lot happening. I don't see a whole lot there listed up on the graph. Let's see, is this one working? I believe that one is. A couple smaller earthquakes out here. I don't know if those are wind events or not. Let's go verify that. See what's happening out there. Windy map here. Ooh, is there any wind up there? It doesn't look like there's any major wind up in Yellowstone. A little bit though on the eastern side here. Let's see that. So it's possible it could be showing up there. But as far as earthquake activity goes, there's not a whole lot happening there, folks, for now. The rest of the country, as you can see, just some smaller earthquake activity around the region of the oil fields. Let's see what we got here across the world view as far as any newer activity goes since this morning's update. Nothing big. A couple events out here across the Java Trench, up around the Himalaya area as well, some deeper quakes. Atlantic Ocean pretty quiet. I guess this is a newer event since this morning's update, a little 3.6, but I guess, had to pinpoint an area that has stirred up. Would definitely be across the Peru Chile Trench and the Middle America Trench here. We got this region and this area up here getting some decent uptick. But nothing big. What do we got for our largest event here in the last 24 hours? That goes to a 5.3 there. Pretty deep into the Mariana Trench there, 118 miles deep. That's striking early this morning. So 118 mile deep earthquake. Hawaii, a little scattered out there. Not so much going on. As far as earthquake activity goes, let's give a quick check in here at the Kilauea Volcano on the inflation side of things. See if anything's inflating out here. Well, it's obviously gearing up for episode 43 here soon. But let's see what we got going on, if it's working tonight. It's not me. It's just something to do with the USGS volcano site that has some issues on occasion. Let me go back here. I'll give it a second to load. Seismograph stations out there look pretty quiet for now. Oh, there's your second. What's going on there, USGS? Am I banned from looking at Kilauea Volcano? I think it's something goes on every night with their server to where it's so slow. But we'll come back and check on that in a second. We'll let it just sit up there and spin. A little C flare activity here in the last couple hours, it looks like, but we're right back down into the B flare category, a B5.3 currently. Flare threat, I dropped mine a little bit because these sunspots out here are looking rather weak and disorganized. The only area I'm kind of watching is going to be this region back over here. There's a couple different magnetically complex areas. Aside from that, everything's fairly stable out there. But we'll watch this region back over there. That's going to be 4384. It's got the only chance here that I see that could maybe produce an M flare. And it probably wouldn't even be that large. Just some C flare activity. Nothing major going on for the Aurora department. We did kick up there with the KP index around 5, which is a G1 class storm earlier, because the BZ component there was negative territory, meaning that it allowed the Aurora amplification to stir up. Nothing major as far as forecasted activity goes, though. There we go. Why would it take a minute to load? That's crazy. Is it going to take another minute to load the deformation data? No. Maybe I should just bookmark this page here. We're still, I don't know, going down here through the day. This is deflationary activity. Going back down again here. So hard to say what's going on. This is definitely a little interesting event here. A little bit more wavy compared to the last, several eruptions there. So either way, I think we'll see episode 43, probably in about 4 days or so, I'm guessing, if it continues, and maybe even a little bit longer if it continues to go down or stall out, in terms of the deformation data there. So that's at the Kilauea volcano, Big Island of Hawaii. We'll just kind of keep an eye on that, see what happens. I kind of like this layout here. It looks a little bit more detailed, darker colors out here. Let's see, current day 1 outlook here. So this is going to be for tomorrow, folks, for Wednesday. Got a slight risk across the typical zones out here in the springtime. Tornado threat, wind, even some hail threat out there for your severe weather forecast for tomorrow. Now day 2, that's roughly the same thing. This is for Thursday. Either way, it's going to be a series of storms here. The setup is perfectly coming together here in terms of the severe weather ingredients over at least the next probably 4 days or so. Looks like even the weekend's going to be quite wet and possible severe weather out there across Texas and Arkansas. So watch for that. And then another round of severe weather events there for next week. So it's that time of year, folks, just got to have a weather plan out there. Make sure you guys, you guys don't need a California guy to tell you to watch out for severe weather. You guys know when it's happening out there. As far as the West Coast goes, we got more rain coming up maybe towards the, towards the third week of March. We'll watch that, though. Either way, we got temperatures in the 70s and 80s coming up here, which, is all right. It's a little early for the 80s. I'd like to keep those off until April or so, but we'll deal with it for now. We got quite a bit of rain here in the winter. It'd be nice to get a little bit more, though, just to kind of keep things greener for a little bit longer. All right, seismograph stations out there. A couple earthquakes there in Japan. Nothing big. We'll catch you guys out here in the morning for the Wednesday morning update. I'm going to call it a night right now, so have a good one. Stay safe out there.